Welcome back to our story, where Inspector Keller is digging deeper into the mysteries of Haus Silber. In our last chapter, we left him contemplating the strange events surrounding Heinrich Vogel's death. Now, he is about to have a crucial conversation with a key figure in this unfolding drama, Marin Dorner. Let's dive right into Chapter 4. The interview room at the station was stark and quiet. Marin Dorner sat with a composure that seemed almost out of place, her hands crossed neatly in her lap. As Inspector Keller entered, he noticed a detail that betrayed her inner turmoil. A slight, almost imperceptible tremble in her fingers. Despite the calmness of her face, she was not at ease. Keller, ever the observer, filed this away. He approached her with a respectful tone, his voice steady. "Miss Dorner," he began, his words cutting through the tense silence. "I understand the town has formed its own opinions. I am here to form mine." The effect of his words was immediate. Marin's shoulders, which had been held in a rigid line, visibly eased. A small breath escaped her, a sigh of relief. "Thank you, Inspector," she replied, her voice clear but carrying a hint of gratitude. Keller pulled out a chair and sat opposite her, the small table between them feeling like a vast, empty space. He leaned forward slightly, his gaze direct but not intimidating. "When were you last at Haus Silber?" he asked, getting straight to the point. Her answer came without hesitation, surprising him with its directness. "Last night," she said. The admission hung in the air. Most people in her position would have tried to distance themselves from the scene. Keller raised an eyebrow. "Last night, eh?" "Repeat it." She nodded, her expression earnest. "But I left long before anything happened. I was gone hours before you were cold." Keller considered her response. It was either a bold lie or the unvarnished truth. He decided to press on. "Why did you go there, Miss Dorner? Why visit Heinrich Vogel in the middle of the night?" Marin hesitated for a moment, her gaze dropping to her hands. It was a fleeting sign of internal conflict before she looked back at him, her resolve seemingly hardening. "I needed to speak with Heinrich," she explained, her voice steady once more. "I needed to talk to him about Frederick." The name dropped into the conversation like a stone into a still pond. "Frederick," Keller prompted. "Her son?" She nodded again, a flicker of sorrow crossing her features. "Yes. Frederick had been missing for months. Heinrich, he was worried, deeply worried, though he rarely admitted it. He tried to maintain that stoic facade, but as his son's absence stretched on, it was eating away at him." Keller leaned in closer, his interest piqued. This was a new thread, a promising one. "And what was your connection to Frederick?" he inquired, gently. Marin's eyes seemed to look past him for a moment, as if seeing a ghost. "I had seen Frederick right before he left town," she confessed. "He wasn't himself. He was troubled, agitated, angry, but also frightened. It was a strange combination. He seemed cornered, like an animal caught in a trap." She paused, gathering her thoughts. "He spoke of secrets," she continued, her voice lowering, becoming more conspiratorial. "Dark secrets his father was hiding, secrets that he believed were the root of all the family's problems." The atmosphere in the room shifted, growing heavier. Secrets. Keller had suspected as much. Families like the Vogels, with their wealth and history, were often built on foundations of secrets. "What sort of secrets?" he asked, his voice low and even, careful not to startle her. Marin swallowed hard, the sound audible in the quiet room. Her gaze flickered towards the door, then back to Keller. It was clear she was debating how much to reveal. "He said they were connected to the canal," she finally whispered. The canal, the very same canal that ran behind Haus Silberkron. The one Keller had noted upon his arrival. The room fell completely still. The only sound was the rhythmic tap, tap, tapping of Keller's finger against the wooden table as his mind raced, connecting disparate pieces of information. The canal, the missing son, the father's sudden death. Was it all linked? "Did Frederick ever tell you what those secrets were?" Keller said, sensing he was on the verge of a breakthrough. "Did he give you any specifics?" Marin shook her head, a look of genuine regret on her face. "No," she said, her voice softening with sadness. He was too afraid, too scattered. He just said they were terrible, something that had haunted his father for years. She looked down at her hands again, twisting a loose thread on her cuff. Then she looked up, her eyes meeting Keller's with a chilling intensity. "But he did tell me one more thing," she added, her voice barely above a whisper. "He said that Elsa knew them too." Elsa, the housekeeper, the woman who had discovered the body, the woman who had been a silent, ever-present fixture in the Vogel household for decades. Keller felt a jolt of realization. Of course, if anyone knew the family's secrets, it would be her. She had been the loyal servant, the keeper of the house, and, it seemed, the keeper of its darkest truths as well. The conversation with Marin had just opened a new, far more intriguing door. It was time for Inspector Keller to pay another visit to House Silberkrone. But this time, his focus wouldn't be on the crime scene. It would be on the quiet, unassuming housekeeper named Elsa. What did she know? And more importantly, what was she hiding? And that's where we'll leave it for today. The web of intrigue is getting more complex, with a missing son, dark family secrets, and a mysterious connection to the canal. What will Keller uncover when he questions Elsa? Join us next time for Chapter 5 to find out. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next installment of our story. We'll see you then.